10 days after their investigation, the WNBA finally shares their results. Ticket prices plummet after the news of Caitlin Clark's injury, and Diana Taurasi says that Paige Bueckers will be the best player in the WNBA. You guys, there is so much to go over, so let's jump right in. What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel DeMita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. Today, we have another update video for you, and I want to start by talking about the WNBA's investigation, because 10 days after they announced that they were investigating fan activity in Gainbridge, there was hate and racist behavior targeting the Chicago Sky players. After they announced that whole investigation, we finally have the results. So here's the statement that the WNBA Communications put out. We have investigated the report of racist fan behavior in the vicinity of the court during the May 17th, 2025 Chicago Sky at Indiana Fever game. Based on information gathered to date, including from relevant fans, team, and arena staff, as well as audio and video review of the game, we have not substantiated it. Now, these results came as no surprise to many fans, because a lot of us were speculating that the thing that they were actually investigating was things that were spread on social media that ended up being lies on social media. Nobody reported anything during the actual game. There were interviews from the Chicago Sky players and coaches, and nobody said what specifically was said, when it was said, if anything was reported. Even Coach Tyler Marsh said that he found out about the investigation at the same time that all of us did. And so, like you guys can see here, they found nothing. And yes, I'm glad that they found nothing, but I'm still upset at the fact that they essentially ruined opening weekend of the WNBA with this investigation, because from this investigation, all of the talk surrounding weekend one was about this. We saw broadcasters from every different network. We saw news reporters chiming in on it. We saw ESPN talking heads going at it. Like, it got actually insane. When they started talking about this investigation, there were so many assumptions being made, people misspoke, and it really just put a damper on the WNBA in general. And like I've told you guys in previous videos, this is such a crucial year for the WNBA. They can't afford to have this cloud of messiness over the league. It's such an important year. It's a year before the CBA. This is the year to show fans and to show the world that you belong, that you're a serious sports organization, that these women deserve to get paid more, that you can put out a good product. And what did they do weekend one? They started an investigation off of something that they saw on social media. It's actually wild. And we also know that the WNBA does have AI technology that they're using to monitor social media. I want to see them put more of their efforts into the actual basketball product and marketing that basketball product than trying to monitor social media, because the more fans that you get, the messier it is going to get on social media. You can't police all of it. If there are true stalking, if there are true threats being made, like, yes, handle those. Of course, everyone agrees with you. We don't want hateful people around the players in arenas, but you can't police all of it. And you definitely can't go off social media and believe something that somebody on social media says, run with that, announce the investigation, have a million accounts putting out these statements, and then you come back and 10 days later, by the way, 10 days later in 2025, when everyone has a cell phone, like, there's so much access to so many things. It took 10 days to conclude this investigation and nothing was found. Now, some people are already trying to spin this and say, well, they actually did find something, but there's certain guidelines they have to go by, and since they said we have not substantiated it, that doesn't mean they didn't find anything. And it's like, we just want to watch some basketball. At the end of the day, we just want to watch some basketball. We don't want this to be like drama and messy, and that's kind of what it is. Now, the last person that I would actually like to hear from is the WNBPA, because they have been silent since the announcement that they found nothing, but they were very vocal when the investigation started. So that is one account or group of individuals that I would like to hear something from, but I doubt we will. With this, you guys, let's close the chat chapter, move on, and cross our fingers that the resources that the WNBA has this year are, yes, used to keep the players safe, but I would love to see these resources used in ways to improve the refereeing. That would actually keep the players safe. There are so many things that the WNBA can do to lift up their players this season, and it's not opening investigations based on social media. That's all I have to say about that, and I hope I never have to talk about this stuff again. Thank you. Moving on, I want to talk about the Indiana Fever ticket prices. This is something that we mentioned in yesterday's video, but the Indiana Fever ticket prices to games over the next 2 weeks have dropped 42% since Caitlin Clark's injury announcement. Now, this is from TickPick, and I saw a ton of different tweets about this, from $137 all the way down to $80. Now, it has been less than 48 hours since the announcement was made that Caitlin Clark would be out for at minimum 2 weeks. Now it says the get-in price for the Sky vs. Fever game on June 7th was $86 just 48 hours ago. Now it's down to $25 after Caitlin Clark's injury announcement. We have seen all over social media fans saying that they didn't want to watch the games if she wasn't going to be there. They weren't going to watch on television. They weren't going to show up at the arena. And I would urge you guys, if you are Indiana Fever fans, if you are Caitlin Clark fans, and you have the means to go to the game, then definitely do that. But this is what one fan said. They said, once I found out Caitlin wasn't playing, it didn't make sense for us to fly to Indianapolis. We are Caitlin fans before Fever fans. She's the biggest draw. That's who the girls want to see. That's the whole point of us going to Indy, seeing Caitlin Clark. When she was injured, we thought, let's just postpone until August. This fan said that he paid about $3,000 for flights, hotel rooms, and 4 tickets to take his wife, 14-year-old daughter, and her basketball teammate to Caitlin Clark's game this Friday against the Connecticut Sun in Indy. And this is something to be expected. I do expect that the viewership is going to drop. I do expect that the tickets are going to drop. Like, we are already seeing it. And I do have sympathy and understand for those fans who, this is a lot of money. It's a lot of money that you paid for tickets. It's a lot of money to travel in to see the game. So I'm definitely not shunning fans if they're not able to get to another game or they've spent a lot of money. Like, it totally does make sense. However, I do hope that it's not too much of a hit to the Indiana Fever team and itself, and that they can win some games when Caitlin is gone, and when she comes back, she is playing in her tip-top form, because I don't want this hype and this excitement behind the team and behind her and behind the league to die down. And it's also something like the Indiana Fever talked a big game before this season. They came out with the Now You Know campaign. They have the shirt that says every game is a home game. Like, they came out loud and proud, and I love that for them. I thought that was so cool. But they have started out the year 2-2, and now Caitlin is out for 2 weeks. So I'm just hoping that they can win some games with her out, and I absolutely think that they are capable of doing that. I surely hope that these away games, that fans are still showing up for them, because they talked a lot and they still have to back that up. Now, it is still early in the season, and so I think everything is going to be fine, and I think Caitlin will be back within a month. Now I want to talk about what Diana Taurasi had to say in a recent interview about Paige Bueckers. She said, the one thing I know about Paige is she's so grounded, so patient, and she's so prepared. She's learned that in the last 4 or 5 years, and all those things that she learned at Connecticut are going to change the way you look at that team. One day, she's going to end up being the best player in the league for sure. Unlike many fans, I actually don't have an issue with Diana Taurasi saying this. She rides hard for UConn and rides hard for UConn players, and her and Paige are really close. She has always genuinely been such a fan of Paige, and I agree with her that Paige she's grounded, she's patient, she's prepared. I think Paige is a great player, and I think that she'll have a great career in the WNBA. Do I think that she's going to end up being the best player in the league? No. She actually isn't even clearly the best rookie so far in this WNBA season, but she is also playing for a horrible team in the Dallas Wings. But if we look at the Rookie of the Year race, Sonia Citron and Kiki Ariafen are right up there with Paige, and some might argue that Sonia is having a better rookie year so far. So if we look at the BetMGM odds, it says Rookie of the Year odds, Paige Bueckers is at -450, Sonia Citron +600, Kiki +1100, and then it's Dominique Malonga, Haley Van Lith, and Elisa Morrow. These odds are honestly like, they're just putting the biggest names from the draft on this board. Dominique is barely getting any playing time, and I'm going to continue to ride for her because I think she deserves more playing time than she's getting, but I don't think the Seattle Storm know how to play her properly. Like, they're not playing her in the right position. Yes, she's tall, but she does so much much more than a regular center would do. I think you need to play her almost as a stretch 4 for that team. But anyway, Dominique's not playing much. Anissa Morrow isn't playing much, which surprises me because the Connecticut Sun are so bad that I thought that she would be getting a lot more playing time and really able to contribute to them. And Haley Van Lith is also barely playing. So really the only 3 right now are Paige, Sonia, and Kiki, and then also the international players who are in their rookie seasons in the WNBA. But if we look side by side at Sonia Citron's and Paige Bueckers' stats currently, now they've both only played about 4 games in the WNBA, 5 games, excuse me, in the WNBA. Sonia's averaging 15.4 points per game, Paige at 14.6, and Paige is ahead of her in the rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks category. Blocks, they both kind of have a half a block per game. Now Paige is playing point guard and Sonia is not, so take that how you want in the assist category. But then on the field goal, 3-point, free throw, and efficiency percentage, Sonia is ahead of Paige, which is crazy because Paige is one of the most efficient players in the game. But I feel like this could definitely be a close race, and I really hope that the WNBA media doesn't just make it all about Paige and kind of ignore what these other rookies are actually doing. Like, I hope that there is spotlight on Sonia. I hope that there's spotlight on Kiki. I hope there's spotlight on some of the international players, and they don't just run away with this and say, oh, it's Paige's award. She's the best. She was the best in college. She's going to be the best player in the WNBA. Like, let's crown her before even the end of the season, because I do think that there's such an exciting race right now for Rookie of the Year, and we will have to see how both of these players develop over the season. I'll also say that if you guys remember last year when it was a race between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and some of the media people were saying, oh, well, I'll give it to Angel Reese because Angel's team is doing better at the time. Like, at the time, the Chicago Sky, I think, were 6 and the Indiana Fever were 7. At this point in time, the Mystics are doing much better than the Dallas Wings. So if that comes into play at all, I hope that those same media personalities keep that take, because that is actually going to work against Paige. She is not on a great team, and I feel sorry for her. But she did do well in her last game. She had 21 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. She was 8 for 10 from the field. And with that, you guys, I think that's all that I have for you today. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and click that little subscribe button because we upload new videos every single week. And also, you guys, I'm still in France. My time zones are kind of messed up, so I won't be doing any live watch parties until I'm back in the States. I want to make sure that I can give you guys the full experience when we are live on those watch parties. So none of those until probably I think it's a Chicago Sky Fever game. That one happens again when I'll be back in the States. But I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos anyway, even if I'm a little late to some of the updates. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Ooh, and